Open world games have been one of the most prominent genres in all of gaming, especially in this generation. We saw an abundance of open world games, and that did not change in 2017. In this video, we're gonna go over the top 10 best open world games of 2017. Let's get right into this. Number 10, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ubisoft has been creating a lot of ambitious projects this generation. We had new IPs such as Tom Clancy's The Division, titles such as Watch Dogs, The Crew, and another ambitious project was Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. This game moves away from the futuristic setting introduced in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, and instead it features a similar setting to the original Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Going into the game, Ubisoft described it as one of the biggest open world games that they have ever published, and it's definitely that. The game's world is absolutely massive, including a wide variety of environments such as mountains, forests, deserts, and salt flats. There were issues with the game such as the poor narrative, bad vehicle controls, and repetitive content. However, the shooting mechanics were on point, the visual and design was great, and overall it is a pretty good game. Not among the top open world games this generation, but a fun game nonetheless.
Ready? Go. Three,
Oh,
two, one, contact.
He made
Target
us.
down.
Get after him.
Oh, we got two guys left. Target down.
He's turning left.
He's running toward you
Making a
guys.
run. Making a run for it.
I got him. I got you covered.
Easy. Come here.
Nice.
Get off of me!
Nice grab.
Good shooting. Let's clean up and move on.
Number 9, Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor was widely considered to be one of the first great games of this generation. It had a lot to like: great combat, a solid world to explore, and a pretty good narrative. Middle-earth: Shadow of War is the follow-up, and it's a lot more of the same. The gameplay is a bit more refined. Visually, the game is great. The storytelling could have been a bit better, and of course, we do know all of the controversy with the game and microtransactions. That was an unfortunate fate, but the foundation of Middle-earth: Shadow of War, the actual content in the game, is very good. And if you enjoyed Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War is going to be a game that you'll really enjoy as well.
Ancient
Elven
individual.
king, right?
Yeah, and I believe forger of the Great Rings, which I'm looking to our guides for confirmation. Oh my gosh, what is
This is
happening?
awesome.
I'm explaining lore.
Enough with your
but
lore.
yeah, like, shut up, Ryan, about this action. Oh god, we're poisoned. So Talion obviously has a lot more, various weapons.
Number 8, Ys 8: Lacrimosa of Dana. Ys has always been one of those Japanese RPG franchises that's been around but never gained any source of immense fame, especially from a commercial standpoint, but the games are very consistent in quality. They're well-made Japanese RPGs. Sometimes they'll have their translation issues, but for the most part, they are quality-made games. And Ys 8 is arguably the best the series has ever seen. It's a really well-made Japanese RPG, and given the fact that the game was developed for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita, visually, it's not among your technical spectacles this year, but it's still a solid game with solid gameplay, great design, and a solid soundtrack. If you're a fan of Japanese RPGs, Ys 8 is a game that you can invest a lot of time into, so definitely check it out. Number 7, Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen. Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen is the lone remaster on this list, and we had to give it a mention because this was one of the best games that was released late last generation, so it kind of got swept under the rug, but it got a second wind with its PC release and then with its PlayStation 4 and Xbox One release. And Dragon's Dogma was already a very well-received game on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. The only real issue with the title was from a technical perspective, and when put on the PS4 and Xbox One, those shackles completely come off and it runs really well. This is also Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen, so you have Dragon's Dogma and you have the Dark Arisen expansion, so you are getting a ton of content for your money, and it's a very challenging action RPG. If you're a fan of the Souls games, Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen is similar, but it's got its own unique elements as well. Definitely check it out. It also released at a very budget price point of $30. Number 6, Yakuza 0. Yakuza is a franchise much like Ys that has gone under the radar a lot, at least over here in the West. That has begun to change as Sega is bringing more and more of the Yakuza titles over here. We saw Yakuza Kiwami released just a few months ago, and earlier this year, back in January, we saw the release of the excellent Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 serves as a prequel to the franchise, so if you've never played the Yakuza game, this is a perfect entry point, and what you're gonna find is a very mature story, a great world with varied content and engaging content, and a lot of enjoyable gameplay that doesn't really get repetitive. Once again, this is a game with a ton of content behind it, so you are getting your money's worth. And if you don't know, Sega is continuing the Yakuza train over here in the West. Yakuza 6 is scheduled for a release in March, and that is shaping up to be an excellent game. For now, you should definitely check out Yakuza 0. It is an excellent game in its own right. Number 5, Gravity Rush 2. Gravity Rush 2 is the follow-up to Gravity Rush, a game that was originally released on the PlayStation Vita, but it did see a re-release on the PlayStation 4 in the form of Gravity Rush Remastered. With Gravity Rush 2, the game was built ground up for the PlayStation 4, so you're going to be seeing a lot of improvements over the first title. A bigger world, a lot more content, better gameplay, better storytelling, better visuals. This is everything a sequel could be and more. It's an excellent open-world game with brilliant design from the visual style to the music. It's a very well-made game, and unfortunately this is one of the criminally underrated games of this generation. Went really under the radar, didn't sell all too well. So if you missed out on Gravity Rush 2, I would highly recommend to check it out. You can play Gravity Rush Remastered first, or you can jump right into Gravity Rush 2. They are both terrific games, and Gravity Rush 2 is by far the better game. It is a must-play PlayStation 4 exclusive. Number 4, Assassin's Creed Origins. Assassin's Creed has been one of the most iconic franchises going back to 2007 with the first Assassin's Creed title. And ever since Assassin's Creed 2, we have been seeing yearly entries into the series, and while many of them were very good, the series was getting a little bit stale, and with the complete atrocity that was Assassin's Creed Unity, the series deserved a much needed break, and that's what Ubisoft gave it in 2016. But they came back in 2017 with Assassin's Creed Origins, and as the title of the game would suggest, it is an origin story, and it is arguably the best Assassin's Creed game Ubisoft has crafted thus far. This is a phenomenal open-world action-adventure game that refines the Assassin's Creed formula perfectly. The extra content and side missions of the game are so well made. Think of something more like The Witcher with parkour elements. Yeah, that sounds great, and that's what Assassin's Creed Origins is. It's a great game. The only real lagging element of Assassin's Creed Origins is the main storyline. Assassin's Creed has been built upon having excellent storytelling, and Assassin's Creed Origins, while the story isn't completely terrible, it's just not up to par with a lot of the other AC titles, but that is more than made up for with the great open world, awesome side content, great gameplay, outstanding visuals. There is just so much to like about Assassin's Creed Origins, and if you've been a fan of the Assassin's Creed games, you definitely have to check out AC Origins. And if AC is a series that's turned you off in recent years, now's a perfect time to jump back in. Or if you've never played an Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Origins is a perfect entry point. It is a great game and one of the best of the year.
It's awesome. The feeling of actually continuing to chase your target using your arrow is an awesome feeling. But it's quite hard, so some might not like it, which is fine because we have many other opportunities.
Set a fire over here. Everyone gets a little alarmed and like, oh, I'm just gonna go accomplish my objective over here.
Oh, and I would even say a lot of people don't realize it.
Number 3, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn was really PlayStation 4's marquee exclusive this year. We had a lot of other great PlayStation 4 exclusives, but from a name value and hype standpoint, Horizon Zero Dawn was definitely the top game, and that was for a variety of reasons. This was the latest game from Guerrilla Games, a studio that's known for their work on the Killzone games, but Horizon Zero Dawn is a much different experience. It's an open-world post-apocalyptic post-apocalyptic action RPG set in a world dominated by mech-like creatures. It's a very interesting and unique premise, and Guerrilla has set an amazing foundation to what could be a top franchise for PlayStation. Horizon Zero Dawn wasn't perfect, but it did a lot of right away. When you look at the game, this is arguably the best looking game we've ever seen on consoles. It is absolutely incredible from a visual and technical standpoint, and then you've got some very unique gameplay. The world design is excellent, and you do have a solid cast of characters that tell a pretty good story. Horizon Zero Dawn also saw a quality expansion released this year in Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds, and if you enjoyed the Horizon Zero Dawn, you should check that out too, because that is just more great content. And as I said, while Horizon wasn't perfect, this could potentially become one of Sony's biggest franchises if Guerrilla can build upon what they set with the first game. Let's hope that comes to fruition. Number 2, NIER Automata. NIER Automata was one of the more unlikely follow-ups this generation. NIER was a very good Japanese RPG released last generation, but it definitely had its issues, especially from a gameplay standpoint. However, the game was so strong from a storytelling and aesthetical design standpoint that it developed a cult following that always wanted to see a sequel or another entry, and that's what we got with NIER Automata. And best of all, as I said, the main issue with NIER was from a gameplay standpoint. With NIER Automata, it was developed by Platinum Games, and Platinum Games are known for a high-octane action gameplay, and that's what you see in NIER Automata. And with NIER Automata, you have that great gameplay, and what's retained is the excellent music, great storytelling, awesome world design, and all of that just blends to create an awesome Japanese RPG with a lot of content and a lot of replay value. As is the case with a lot of Japanese titles, for some people, they will be turned off just on the basis that it is a Japanese title, but if you can get over that barrier, you'll find an excellent and very well-made game in NIER Automata. One of the best PlayStation 4 titles of the year, and it was released on PC as well, so you can check it out on there if you want. Finally, number 1, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda has been one of the most iconic video game franchises in the history of gaming, and Nintendo has built the series based on quality, and that's what you find once again with The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It's hard to fathom how Nintendo keeps topping themselves with The Legend of Zelda titles, but Breath of the Wild, once again, it has raised the bar for The Legend of Zelda and has become the marquee Nintendo Switch title. Yes, it's also available on the Wii U, but at this point, not many people have bought a Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch seems to be a platform that's here to stay, so we assume the majority of you guys are picking it up on the Switch. Nonetheless, whatever platform you play it on, it is a fantastic game with a phenomenal open world, and visually, while it's not up to the technical standard of something like a Horizon Zero Dawn, it more than makes up for it with its excellent art design. And outside of that, you've also got great gameplay, albeit very challenging at times, and a game that's absolutely packed to the brim with content. You can spend so much time in The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and if you want to do everything, that's going to take you north of 70 to 100 hours. It's a terrific game and really set the right pace that Nintendo needed to with the Nintendo Switch. So that wraps up the top 10 best open world games of 2017. What do you think? Which open world games have been your favorite this year? Let us know in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.